In Cyberpunk 2077, some may decide to undergo a full conversion because sometimes meat just isn't enough. This process is known as full body replacement or going Borg. I feel it is important to disclose that at this moment in time there is currently no information on whether or not Cyberpunk 2077 will allow V to undergo a full body conversion, given the complications involved, but rest assured V will no doubt meet a few Borgs in Cyberpunk 2077 while traversing through Night City. The story of cyborgs, more commonly known as Borgs, began as various military forces started experimenting with full cybernetic body conversions to create the perfect soldier. It was actually during these early highly experimental and often fatal procedures that cyberpsychosis was first identified and diagnosed. By supplanting a skeletal system with a metal endoskeleton interlaced with myoma fiber musculature, incorporating fully cybernetic limbs and covering the entire body with armor, you can become the classic cyborg depicted in movies, or depending on specs, can become a synthetic full-body prosthesis augmented cybernetic human, like Major Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. Perhaps not quite as elegant or good-looking as the Major, but something along those lines. A full Borg can lift and throw a small car, tear down brick walls with their bare hands, and walk through machine gun fire as if it were rain. Their cybernetic nervous system and interlaced synthetic muscle fibers give them incredible reflexes and movement speed. Heavier combat models also utilize electromagnetic pistons, commonly referred to as hydraulics, which are stronger and faster. A combat Borg is almost unstoppable, capable of withstanding light anti-tank weapons. While such upgrades might seem appealing, full Borg conversions are exceptionally rare and often considered illegal in Night City. One reason for this is that by the time the arduous and expensive process is over, much of the intangible humanity of the person is lost, sometimes creating a cold, merciless, machine-like personality. It seems counterintuitive, but there is some hope for those wanting to undergo full conversion. Because full body replacement is performed all at once, there is less trauma to the individual. If a person were to get all the cyberware components of a full Borg separately, similar to the members of a Maelstrom gang, they would suffer a massive loss of humanity. This occurs due to the myriad of operations required, repeated physical and psychological trauma, and a sort of slow chipping away at the body and soul of the patient. A full Borg conversion, however, is an all-in-one procedure which is less like an operation performed on the body and more like a transplant. In such a case, the patient's brain, a portion of the spinal cord, and the few organs which cannot be replaced are transplanted into a robotic body. Most of the functions performed by internal organs such as a digestive tract, lungs and heart are taken up by cybernetic analogues. For instance, the lungs are replaced with a high-efficiency filtration and oxygenation system. For this reason, a full Borg is immune to any kind of gas. The same is true for eating and drinking, although for psychological reasons, all full Borgs are capable of regular eating. That said, most Borgs cannot engage in sexual activity, and for psychological reasons, a full Borg must also sleep. Although Borgs have massively increased physical abilities and the capability to totally customize the body, they have some serious disadvantages as well. Aside from the obvious humanity costs, full Borgs suffer from a strong social stigma against them. Many people are fearful of their potential for cyberpsychosis, while others are jealous of a Borg's physical capabilities and perceived wealth. Full Borgs have many more job opportunities than normal because of their superior capabilities. Although opinions vary, most full Borgs find themselves the victims of discrimination and prejudice. This has resulted in a sort of brotherhood among Borgs, which is not always understood by others. Another important consideration is that corporate sponsorship is in fact the most common route for attaining a full body conversion. Many corporations will offer a contract for full conversion to those who satisfy the extensive screening and testing procedures. Although most Borgs are corporate or military creations, there have been a few cases of street Borgs. Most of these jobs have been sloppy and unreliable, as well as being psychotic and short-lived. Once in a blue moon, a custom Borg does show up on the streets of Night City, but they are incredibly rare and expensive. There are rumours on the street of exotic experiments focusing on full-body conversions, and they aren't pretty. Interchangeable brain cases are a reality, and there are even rumours of human brains in robo-hound bodies. Even more speculative and exotic is the rumour that Microtech can electronically transfer a mind from a human body into a Borg housing an implanted clone brain. These rumours aren't confirmed, but many experts say it is possible. In Cyberpunk 2020, there were several main types of full-body replacement available. Alpha Class Borgs. The Alpha Class is considered to be the industry standard and as such can be regarded as one of the many generic designs, composed of durable ultralight polyceramics, foamed alloys and other hybrid materials. An Alpha Class body is designed to bear a strong resemblance to the human form. It is anthropomorphically structured to integrate with standard human ergonomics with little difficulty. An Alpha Class is typically 6'6" tall and weighs approximately 350 pounds. Once a patient's brain is transplanted into the head and the few required biosystems are wired into the body, all the physical functions such as oxygenation, digestion and blood circulation of the body are performed by cybernetic components. The internal systems of an Alpha Class body consist of a cybernetic nervous system, an alloy endoskeleton actuated by a myoma fiber musculature, and a covering of ultralight plating of woven carbon beryllium fibers in a plastic base. The Alpha Class body's physical abilities are easily equivalent to the human maximum, with strength and lifting power being even higher. Aquarius Submachine Borg. Designed for use in underwater environments, it is ideal for undersea exploration, mining, aquaculture, construction, and covert operations. Endorsed by US Navy SEALs, the Aquarius can operate underwater for up to 16 hours and at depths of up to 16,000 feet. The Aquarius is built using corrosion-proof materials and is waterproofed to protect all internal systems. The body is carefully weighted for neutral buoyancy, allowing easier maneuvering. Copernicus Cybermatrix Incorporated Space Borg. There is no environment more hostile than the cold vacuum of space. Radiation constantly bombards those who venture outside of man's fragile artificial habitats, and may have fallen prey to the unique accidents of an orbital environment. Cybermatrix Incorporated offers the Copernicus body conversion to make the player a native inhabitant of the final frontier. As a standard feature, this body is fully protected against radiation, EMP, and microwaves, with fully shielded materials and hardened electronics. Cosmic rays and electromagnetic storms are no threat to Copernicus. In addition, all exposed surfaces are highly reflective so as not to absorb heat from the glaring light of the sun's unobstructed rays. Eclipse Militech Cybernetics International Covert Operations Borg. The Eclipse offers maximum versatility, firepower and stealth in one compact package. Ideal for assassinations, intrusions, sabotage, kidnapping and information collection. As a superior Black Ops full conversion, the Eclipse uses jump-wired cybernetic reflexes to excel in its field. These reflexes feed directly into the high-efficiency myoma musculature for increased speed and a custom-integrated gyrocybulation unit for near-perfect balance in any situation. The Eclipse's exterior incorporates a chameleon system, which employs liquid crystal technology and a multifaceted fiber optic digitization system. Eclipse's sensory and physical abilities are backed up by a formidable selection of subtle yet effective weapons. Enforcer Militech Cybernetics Police and Security Borg. The Enforcer was designed especially for the police and security community. It was well armoured and capable of withstanding almost any small arms fire. Since the scene on the streets of Night City can change in an instant, the Enforcer's nervous system is hardwired for superior response time, and no perpetrator can outrun the cyborg since its ground speed matches that of most vehicles. Brimstone Daimler Technologies Fireborg. Immune to the hazards of smoke inhalation, burns and rapidly changing pressures, Brimstone can do the work of an entire company of regular firemen. As a necessity, the Brimstone package is fully fireproofed, making it capable of enduring the searing heat of almost any blazing inferno. Full body conversions have a multitude of advantages: superhuman strength, speed and durability, heightened reflexes, the ability to alter the body at will, and even an increased lifespan. However, being a full Borg sets you apart. People treat you like a machine, even a tool. The sad truth is that if you look like a robot, no matter how you behave, people will tend to treat you like a robot. If you want the advantages of a full conversion without the societal baggage, Gemini is the package for you. The Gemini cyber system is a full body conversion that simulates the human body in both form and function. Its chassis is designed in a similar manner to the human skeletal structure, and its myoma muscle system is arranged to physically mimic the human musculature. With this carefully tailored layout, the Gemini cleverly imitates the anatomy of a normal person without sacrificing the superior capabilities for which full-body conversions are so well known. To complete the effect, Gemini's entire surface is covered with exoderm, which looks and feels like human skin. The Gemini's capability to pass for a normal human is impressive. Its built-in Pinocchio sub-processor automatically maintains body temperature, expands and contracts the upper torso to create the illusion of breathing, and even blinks the eyes occasionally. What's more, the entire body is composed of lightweight carbon synthetics and other composite materials, resulting in a mere 10-pound deviation from the average weight for a similar-sized person. The Gemini can also be equipped with an option to change the cyborg's facial features at will, in giving it mimetic polyalloy qualities similar to the T-1000 or TX from the Terminator franchise, which is useful for infiltration and espionage roles. Samson Noveltech Limited Industrial Use Full Conversion. Designed for construction, loading, and dealing with hazardous materials and environments, the Samson is equally at home hundreds of stories above the ground as a welder on high steel, or hundreds of feet below the surface of the earth in a mining tunnel. Samson's other areas of expertise include logging, oil drilling, toxic waste disposal, and any other industrial application you can think of. Like its namesake, this full-body conversion is unparalleled in strength. Last, but certainly not least, is the Dragoon military use full conversion by International Electric Cybernetics. IEC designed the Dragoon to be the deadliest weapon any army could deploy. Being a strictly military weapon, the Dragoon is absolutely impossible to buy on the open market, and even the megacorporations can have a hard time acquiring such things. Measuring over 8 feet in height and weighing in at 620 pounds, the Dragoon is probably the most powerful full conversion available. Due to its humanoid form, it can take advantage of terrain, hold territory, and perform every part of a military operation, from guerrilla warfare to anti-aircraft artillery. Its speed is comparable to a 4x4 army jeep. Combined with this unbeatable mobility is the Dragoon's inherent toughness. Its armor plating consists of a monocrystalline ceramic composite with an ablative layer of heat-displacing ceramics and foamed metal. To prevent potential cyberpsychosis, the Dragoon comes with an interchangeable biopod. This biopod, which houses the cyborg's biosystems, normally inhabits an off-duty body, usually in Alpha class. The Dragoon is only fitted with the biopod and the human mind within when it is actively performing missions. To ensure reliable performance from the Dragoon, a behavioral inhibitor program in the cyborg's onboard computer restricts the Borg's ability to think, turning it into a loyal soldier. However, the downside of preventing cyberpsychosis in this manner means that Dragoons are easy to trick, so truly sensitive work is left to more human operatives. Naturally, being a Borg would give the player access to weapons that a normal person could not handle. Notable examples include the Arasaka Pocket Tsunami grenade launcher. It is a revolver-style grenade launcher which acts as a devastating primary support weapon. The Slam Dance Hyper Hammer, for those who like to settle their business up close and personal. The solid tungsten sledgehammer has a thumb switch activated rocket booster built into the back of the hammer. When fired, the rockets blast the hammer around at near supersonic speed. The Tsunami Arms Helix is considered one of the most devastating Borg weapons for close-range combat. Perhaps the most notorious Borg weapon is the Magnum Opus Hellbringer 666 Magnum Revolver, a deadly double-action revolver. This weapon only holds 3 rounds in its solid titanium steel cylinder, but each round is a killer. The entire handgun is composed of steel and ultra-strong hybrid alloys. While the Hellbringer has no sophisticated electronics, most owners usually modify it with a laser sight.
I have to drop something. Hold on.
As for notable Borg characters from Cyberpunk 2020, the main one was Adam Smasher, the combat cyborg. Adam Smasher was originally a punk who enlisted in the army but was discharged for misconduct. As a hired gun, he worked in New York, where his talents and sadistic thoroughness brought in enough eddies to provide him with guns, gear, drugs, and brutal one-night stands. On one job, however, Adam has an accident involving an RPG. A mysterious corporate benefactor decided to make Adam an offer he could not refuse: corporate service in a cyborg body, or death. 7 years later, the new Adam Smasher made quite a reputation for himself, ensuring collateral damage and maximum civilian casualties on all his missions. Adam also developed a rivalry with Morgan Blackhand, who he saw as a challenge to the metal is better than meat philosophy. And during the Fourth Corporate War, Adam Smasher killed Johnny Silverhand, who was attempting to buy enough time for his hackerite friend, Spider Murphy, the opportunity to break Alt Cunningham into a series of data packets and download her into the net. Morgan Blackhand then fights Adam Smasher atop Arasaka Towers, while the rest of the team is evacuated. The outcome of the duel is unknown because the nuclear demolition charges Morgan Blackhand deployed sets off the self-destruct bomb Arasaka had placed in its data core. This destroyed most of Night City and contaminated the ruins with lethal fallout. Mike Pondsmith has now confirmed Adam Smasher will not be returning for Cyberpunk Red.
How did you obtain this information?
We are Borg.
Hey Chumba, I'm Kazuliski, and I hope you found this Cyberpunk 2077 discussion on Borg, Cyberware and full-body conversions to be informative. If you are interested in additional Cyberpunk 2077 content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or feedback, always let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching.